What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to United Focus. And what an absolutely packed day of Manchester United transfer news we have got for you. The window is open, business is moving, and today we have got enormous updates across virtually every single area of United's summer plans. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed a major decision on Sandro Tonali. David Ornstein has broken news of a second West Ham target alongside Fernandez. Rashford is officially back at Manchester United. Mason Greenwood is heading to Roma, and United are getting a windfall. Ruben Amorim is saving United £9 million by joining AC Milan. And a World Cup sensation is now on United's radar after an extraordinary performance. This is a big one. Let's get through every single detail right now. Right now we are talking. Because David Ornstein of The Athletic has just broken a story that could define United's attacking additions this summer. Manchester United have opened talks to sign West Ham winger Crysencio Summerville. Ornstein has confirmed it. United have been in conversation about his situation with the Hammers and are aware that he is expected to cost in the region of £50 million. This comes on top of the already advancing Mateus Fernandes pursuit, meaning United are potentially looking to conduct a double raid on relegated West Ham this summer. 2 players, 1 club. Potentially one combined negotiation that gives United leverage and gives West Ham certainty about their business. Now let's talk about who Summerville is, because this is a genuinely exciting player. The Dutch winger has been one of West Ham's brightest performers in a difficult season. He is currently at the World Cup with the Netherlands and scored in their opening game of the tournament. At 24 years old, at the peak of his physical development, with Premier League experience and now World Cup goals to his name, Summerville is exactly the profile of dynamic, direct wide forward that United have been looking for, and the situation at West Ham makes this very achievable. The Hammers have been relegated to the Championship. Summerville is absolutely not going to play second-tier football. Clubs of United's calibre are going to have no trouble convincing him that Old Trafford is the right destination. This is a player motivated to leave and with every reason to join United specifically. £50 million for a 24-year-old winger with Champions League football and a big stage to perform on. That is very reasonable in today's market. And the link to the Rashford situation is interesting. With Rashford now formally returning to United, his potential sale could help fund Summerville's arrival. Replace one left-sided attacker with a younger, cheaper, motivated alternative. United are talking to West Ham about both Fernandez and Summerville. That is bold, that is ambitious, and if both deals get done, United's midfield and attack look dramatically improved heading into the Champions League campaign. In other news, Manchester United have pulled out of a deal to sign Sandro Tonali. Romano confirmed it. United have made their decision. The Newcastle United midfielder, who has been on the shortlist for weeks and who United were reportedly willing to break their transfer record for, has been deemed too expensive to pursue given the other business United are trying to conduct this summer. Now, let's understand why this is the right call. United are on the cusp of completing the Edison signing. They are the favourites to sign Mateus Fernandes. They have just opened talks about Crysencio Summerville. They are monitoring Ayyoub Bouaddi, and they potentially need to address the Rashford situation too. With all of that on the plate, spending £100 million on Tonali alone would consume an enormous chunk of the transfer budget and leave other areas of the squad unaddressed. Compare Tonali at £100 million to the alternative, Edison at £39 million plus Fernandez at £85 million. 2 quality midfielders for a combined £124 million. A more balanced squad rebuild across multiple positions rather than one huge single outlay. United looked at Tonali's price tag. They looked at everything else they need to do this summer, and they made the sensible, disciplined call. The cost does not justify pulling resources from other targets. This is exactly the kind of decision-making that has been so encouraging under the current recruitment setup. No ego, no panic, just clear-headed planning. Tonali will find a club. He is a brilliant player. But United are moving on, and the targets they are moving towards instead are very exciting indeed. Mateus Fernandes, Real Madrid. Step aside, United are the favourites. Massive development in the Fernandez chase today, and it significantly strengthens United's hand. The Sun are reporting that Real Madrid are not expected to make a formal approach for Fernandez this summer. Despite Jose Mourinho's personal interest in his Portuguese compatriot and genuine contact being made, Real Madrid have now effectively stepped aside. Their midfield is already stacked after various summer business, and the appetite to pay 85 million for another midfielder simply is not there. And Romano has confirmed the broader picture. Arsenal have cooled their interest in Fernandez. The Gunners apparently deemed West Ham's valuation as excessive. They have moved on to other midfield targets, which leaves Manchester United. And Real Madrid stepping aside alongside Arsenal's cooling interest means one thing. United are now the clear, undisputed favourites to sign Mateus Fernandes. No bidding war, no rival driving the fee to absurd heights. Just United and West Ham negotiating the structure of a deal. Romano confirmed this week that United are in official negotiations with Fernandez' agent on the contract. Personal terms discussions are already underway. United are also in direct contact with West Ham to discuss the transfer fee. The sticking point remains the fee structure. West Ham want 85 million up front. United want to explore add-ons and a restructured payment. But with the competition now largely cleared from the field, United's negotiating position has improved dramatically. The player himself reportedly favours United above all other suitors. Agreeing personal terms will not be a problem. This is heading in one clear direction: Fernandez to Old Trafford. The only remaining question is the exact financial structure of the deal. Get this done, United. The path is clear. Edison medical, not yet, but coming. Quick but important update on Edison, because there were some premature reports over the weekend claiming the Brazilian was undergoing his United medical in the United States on Sunday. That is not the case according to reliable sources. The deal remains fully agreed: £35 million up front, £3.8 million in add-ons, 4-year contract with a 5th-year option. 100% confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. All documents between United and Atalanta are complete. But the medical and official signing are still expected to happen once Brazil are knocked out of the World Cup. Brazil drew 1-1 with Morocco on Saturday night and continue in the tournament. Edison will complete the formalities once his international duty concludes. And then Michael Carrick gets his first officially confirmed signing through the door. The first piece of the midfield jigsaw is in place. Now United need to add the second and potentially the third. Now here is a name that has absolutely exploded onto Manchester United's radar this weekend. And once you understand what this 18-year-old did on Saturday night, you will understand completely why. Ayyoub Bouaddi, Lille, 18 years old, Moroccan international. And in Morocco's World Cup opener against Brazil, he was simply outstanding. In a match that ended 1-1, Bouaddi was one of the best players on the pitch. His performance was so dominant that Casemiro, the Brazilian midfield veteran, was actually hooked at half-time after struggling to keep up with the Lille teenager. Let that sink in for a moment. An 18-year-old made a World Cup veteran look so uncomfortable that his own manager substituted him at half-time. Give Me Sport have now claimed that Bouaddi is on Manchester United's transfer radar following that performance. Liverpool are also considering a move, and we already know from our Arsenal coverage that the Gunners have been secretly courting Bouaddi since the start of the year, and Berta has already held initial talks. So this one has suddenly become a three-way Premier League chase for one of the most exciting young midfielders in world football. Lille value Bouaddi at around £70 million. At 18 years old, with a World Cup performance that made Casemiro look pedestrian, that valuation is already looking modest. As this tournament progresses and Bouaddi continues to perform, that fee is going in one direction only. For United, who need to replace the Casemiro role, Bouaddi's profile is fascinating. A ball-playing technician who can operate defensively and progressively. If United want a long-term solution rather than a short-term fix, Bouaddi combined with Edison and Fernandez could be an extraordinary midfield for the next decade. Whether United move beyond monitoring into concrete pursuit remains to be seen. But this is a name every United fan needs to know right now. Rashford, officially back at United. Carrick welcomes him. Marcus Rashford has officially returned to Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano confirmed it this week. The €30 million buy option clause for Barcelona has now expired without being triggered. Rashford formally returns. And in a somewhat surprising development, Michael Carrick has publicly welcomed Rashford back. The United manager is said to be planning to integrate him back into the squad. That is a significant shift from the earlier reports that suggested United had no plans to reintegrate him into Carrick's setup. Now, let's get some context here. Rashford had an outstanding loan season at Barcelona. 14 goals, 14 assists across all competitions as he helped them win the league title. That is a genuinely impressive return. The issue was never his quality. It was Barcelona's reluctance to pay his £30 million valuation and their concerns about his wages. Rashford is currently at the World Cup with England. He is expected to start against Croatia in England's opening group game. A strong tournament could completely reshape his market and the options available to him this summer. Bayern Munich had been growing increasingly confident of landing him with an opening bid of around €25 million, close to United's £30 million asking price. Whether that remains the case now that Carrick has welcomed him back publicly is an interesting question. Does Carrick genuinely want to give Rashford a chance in his new United project? Or is the public welcome a smart piece of negotiating, showing the market that United are content to keep him, which maintains his value and prevents clubs from trying to lowball? Either way, Rashford is back at Old Trafford. His future will be shaped by his World Cup performances, and United hold all the cards. Mason Greenwood, Roma move and a windfall for United. Now here is some genuinely positive financial news that United fans should be very happy about. Mason Greenwood is heading to AS Roma. Journalist Nicolo Shearer has confirmed that an agreement in principle has been reached between Greenwood and Roma, a contract until 2031 worth €5 million per year, plus bonuses. Roma are now ready to open formal talks with Marseille to complete the transfer, with Greenwood described as manager Gennaro Gattuso's main summer target. Now, why does this matter for Manchester United? Because when United sold Greenwood to Marseille in 2024, they negotiated a 50% sell-on clause into the deal. 50%. Which means when Roma pay Marseille for Greenwood, United receive half of the profit above the original sale price. Romano confirmed United are expecting to receive at least £20 million from this transaction. That is £20 million arriving at Old Trafford for a player who has not been at the club for 2 years. Pure, clean financial windfall that goes straight into the summer transfer budget. This is exactly the kind of smart, forward-thinking contract negotiation that separates well-run football clubs from poorly run ones. United included that sell-on clause when very few people could have predicted Greenwood would go on to score 48 goals in 81 appearances for Marseille. Smart business. And now the reward is coming. Ruben Amorim to AC Milan. United save £9 million. And here is another piece of genuinely good financial news that has emerged this week. And this one is confirmed by Romano himself. Ruben Amorim, sacked by United in January, has agreed a deal to become AC Milan's new head coach on a 2-year contract until 2028, with an option for a further season. The deal is done and closed. Why does this benefit United financially? Because United had reportedly set aside £15.9 million for Amorim's compensation, money that was only payable if he remained unemployed until June 2027. With Amorim now employed at Milan, that obligation reduces dramatically. Romano confirmed on his YouTube channel that United will save more than £9 million as a result of Amorim's Milan appointment. His exact words, Man United will save more than £9 million for Ruben Amorim. This was money destined to the Portuguese manager, but now he's going to AC Milan and so extra money for Man United. Very good news for Man United. £9 million saved on the Amorim compensation, £20 million expected from the Greenwood sell-on clause. That is potentially £29 million of additional budget appearing from essentially nowhere. In a summer where United are trying to fund multiple signings across midfield and attack, that is not insignificant. That is meaningful financial flexibility that helps Carrick get the players he wants. This Manchester United summer is gathering extraordinary momentum. Edison done, Fernandez close, Summerville talks opened, Bouaddi on the radar, financial windfalls arriving from multiple directions, and a manager in Michael Carrick who is making smart, disciplined, intelligent decisions about who to pursue and, crucially, who not to pursue. The Tonali decision and the Edison decision earlier this week tell you everything about the direction this club is heading. No more ego-driven bidding wars, no more overpaying just to beat a rival. Targeted, structured, sensible recruitment that leaves money available to address multiple areas rather than blowing the budget on one name. Champions League football is coming back to Old Trafford. The rebuild is underway, and with Edison, Fernandez and potentially Summerville all arriving this summer, this United squad is going to look dramatically different and dramatically better by August. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss a single update as this window moves at full speed. Smash that like button if you enjoyed today's coverage. It genuinely helps the channel more than you know. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Good decision to pull out of Tonali? Excited about Summerville? And what do you make of Rashford coming back? Let me know every thought. I will see you in the next one.